Thanks, Grandma.
Hello and welcome to Pixel Scandal. You're watching a Paper Scandal actual play of, this is a Paper Scandal side quest of Return to the Cruise Ship of the Damned. There's so many words in that. So many words.
Lots of hands, too.
I am Kurt. Down there is Oreztes. How you doing this morning, Oreztes?
Man, I was not expecting that level of excitement and
you
energy
that shit down.
this early in the morning. I'm all
We're at
right.
an 11. We need you at like a 1.6.
Well, over there we got Gigett. How you feeling, Gigett?
I'm great. I got coffee, and I'm good to go. I'm excited.
I also have coffee, and I'm very excited. End of line. How you feeling today? Per usual. And our special guest, returning guest GM on SideQuest, Dave Kizzia of Monkeyfun Studios. How are you doing today?
No, I'm good.
Yay! We're so glad that you're back.
I'm glad to be back.
Well,
It's the first guest GM that could put up with us for a second session.
I know. Gold star.
Wow, fact.
so tell us, or take it away. It's your show now. I pass it to you.
Okay. Hi, it's Dave from Monkeyfun Studios again. Before we get started, of course, I do want to mention our current Kickstarter for A Town Called Malice. It's a brand new Nordic horror game that is based off of things such as Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, Twin Peaks, and all those great small town isolation things that make you basically hate everybody that you live with and whatever. And we are doing great. And if you're interested in seeing it, monkeyfunstudios.com/malice will take you straight to the Kickstarter page. So find that out. So today we're going to be playing an adventure from Spirit of 77, our fine pop culture action RPG set in the 1970s called Return to the Cruise Ship of the Damned. Now, adventure that we ever put out for Spirit of 77 was Cruise Ship of the Damned. And which is also, by the way, available as a free download on our website, monkeyfunstudios.com. See how I'm doing all the plugs early, getting it all
It's
out
great.
there?
Yeah. Get it in now.
So one of the things that we did is that we wanted to make a sequel to the adventure Cruise Ship of the Damned, which is what we're going to be playing today, Return to the Cruise Ship of the Damned. Now, this is a little bit different in that all the players have already played a pre-gen in the previous adventure. And if you go check it out on Pixel Scandal, you will see the first adventure. So they're going to be playing the same characters, but there's a twist. The twist specifically is that these characters have changed their roles. What that means is that even though that they have the same backgrounds that they once did, because of the time that has passed between the first adventure and the second one, they've changed what kinds of things they can do as part of their moves. You're with games that are powered by the Apocalypse. Apocalypse World, of course, put out by D. Vincent Baker and Maggie Baker. It's a very simple system in that they tell me what they want to do, and if there's nothing blocking them from doing so, they can do it. It's just automatically successful. When there is something that is actually impeding their ability to do so, that's when we roll dice. Specifically, they roll, on average, 2d6, two six-sided dice. And if it's a 10 and above, it's a success. If it's a 6 and below, it's a failure. If it's a 7 to 9, it's a partial success or a success with a cost. And those stats are actually added to their dice rolls. So if they are doing something that involves something which would normally be called strength in a game, but we call this might. If it's like lifting up something very heavy, you roll 2d6, add your might, and then that would be your success or failure. One other thing I also want to stress, for certain moves that they have, and again, moves are things that they can do that other people can't, or at least specific to their roles. There is something called rolling with something extra. Something extra means that if that particular move says that in this circumstance they can do a roll with something extra, that means they roll 3 dice and take the best of 2. If after being wounded quite a bit they are rolling with something less, then they roll with 3 dice and then take the worst of 2. It's pretty straightforward, almost as if they had a okay. Nobody gets that one, but that's okay. Anyway, the point being The point being is, your moves will be very specific if you need to roll with something extra, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward. And actually, one more thing, because I mentioned moves, everybody has a set of moves that are basic moves. Anyone can do it at any time, but because their roles have changed, certain role or moves associated with their roles have changed as well, meaning they can do different things. Now, before we get started, nope. Cool.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't think so.
I think we're good.
Fantastic. Okay. So just to bring everybody up to speed on the adventure itself. So 4 years ago, everybody here was a guest aboard the SS Tangerine, which faced a terrible catastrophe in that its experimental engine leaked dangerous radiation, which affected all of the passengers and guests, causing them to turn into murderous zombies. Now, although the players managed to survive and escape, the ship itself sank to the bottom of the ocean soon after everyone's exodus. Now, 4 years have passed, and the ship has miraculously returned to the surface just above the waterline. And the local Coast Guard believes there to be no survivors left on the ship, although, of course, the players themselves out. Now, we're going to actually ask a couple of things of the group, but just to remind everyone, though everyone has done their best to move on since the accident, the events never really has lost anybody's thoughts. And when the television program In Pursuit Of, hosted by Douglas Falcone, offered to take them back for an on-camera reunion on board the ship to return, partially motivated by the generous payments they were going to receive afterwards. So the television crew have commandeered the main dining room, setting up their lights and camera equipment, surrounding a reproduction of the captain's table where the players were first brought together. That means everybody's sitting exactly where they were before. But we'll talk about some of the changes that have happened. Now that we've kind of set the scene, let's actually ask a couple of questions to everybody. So Douglas Falcone, of course, is asking everybody some questions now that they're sitting together, and we'll introduce the characters briefly. So Vincent Peck to introduce himself. Vincent?
Hi, I'm Vincent Peck. I am a former police officer and detective, but I have since left the force, and I am now a crime investigation mystery novelist.
Now, in the previous adventure, Vincent, you were, as you mentioned, a crime fiction writer, but you were kind of down on your luck. You were always looking for, trying to find cash. But that's not really your case anymore. I understand that actually you wrote a book about the escape from the SS Tangerine that's being made into a new Hollywood film. What's the name of the film?
Let's call it Zombie Ship.
Zombie Ship. Love it.
Sounds like a made-for-TV sci-fi movie.
Oh yeah, I heard that it was made for TV. I hear that's actually going to be doing this as a movie of the week. So who is going to be starring as you specifically, if I may ask, Vincent?
Bradley Cooper.
A very, very young Bradley Cooper. Okay. And who might I add, if I may? Oh, I'll come back and ask this question a little bit later. Okay, so we'll go back. So we also previously had Sammy Summers. Sammy Summers at the time was the leader of the cheerleading team, the Texas Tornadoes. But what have you been up to since your escape from the ship, Sammy? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, Dr. Samantha Summers, MD. I'm a state certified licensed physician. I have a degree in internal medicine. And
I understand you're up for the Nobel Prize because of your medical research.
That's what I hear.
Current field of focus to warrant such a nomination?
Kinesiology.
The study of movement.
Yes.
See how I knew that? Now, I also understand that your oral dissertation was considered one of the finest heard in Harvard. What was the name of your dissertation?
The human body and you.
Very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Vincent, before I go any further, and this is just between you and I, who's been cast to play Sammy in the TV movie?
Audrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. All right.
She was born yet.
No, shh. Quiet you. So again, remember correctly, just because it was, we're pulling from the air here. So I can also remember to have a member of your cheerleading team that, didn't quite make it back.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Becky. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was a great loss to the Texas Tornadoes. They never fully recovered. She would have been a fantastic leader.
I can see that, so I'm really glad that, you're still remembering Becky, and I can tell that you're still traumatized by the event by carrying around that bloody pom-pom with you that you had previous to, when you were a cheerleader on, your first voyage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really keeps me anchored.
Not creepy at all. Okay, cool. Now, and speaking of creepy, let's talk to Gemini. So Gemini previously becoming, well-respected, well-known recording artist.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you've been spending a lot of quiet rest and rehabilitation time at a local sanitarium, as I understand.
I have rehabilitated myself, yes.
You seem very calm these days. That's good.
I am absolutely not masking any pent-up rage or aggression.
That's nice. Since you gave up music, what have you been spending your days doing?
Well, I like to walk around the grounds at the rehabilitation facility.
What's the name of the facility?
It is the... Oh, man. It's the Betty Ford Clinic.
The Betty Ford Clinic.
Yeah,
Okay.
Zion.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And, well, I actually spoke to your counselor before we came on set, because
Why?
I just wanted to make sure you were okay. I wanted to make sure you were not overly stressed by this,
okay.
because I know that it's very important for you to maintain an overall calmness. That specifically was part of the terms and conditions of allowing you early release furlough onto
Nobody
the
reads
ship.
those.
Yeah, but I have to, because you never know. So now I understand you've been having nightmares of some sort about the ship. To see what they're about.
I mean, as I told my counselor, I am absolutely not having horrific dreams about monsters eating my emotional support polar bear over and over and over again.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Luckily, we understand that you have, that they made sure to give you a very calm, relaxing injection and electroshock therapy before this afternoon's. So I'm really glad to hear that.
Yes, the treatment worked excellently.
Okay, so, and our final person, of course, that we're going to be speaking to is Victoria Crown. How are you, Victoria?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, Victoria, now, from what I understand, you suffered some serious injuries after the Tangerine incident. So what were the details of the... Oh, I apologize. Before we go any further, I apologize. Vincent, who's going to be playing Gemini in the TV movie?
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton. Fantastic. So anyway, you were going to tell me about the injuries you suffered.
No, I wasn't.
You weren't?
No.
Oh, all right. So since your injury, I understand the government organization that you work for, MIX, has been keeping you on administrative duties. What specifically have they been having you do?
Officially, I have been doing filing.
I see. And what else have you been up to?
Research.
Oh, what have you been researching, Victoria?
Crimes. Unsolved crimes.
I see. So this must be, you're probably going to have a lot to talk about with Vincent Peck. You know, Mr. Peck, I don't know if you remember, but he used to wear a very shabby suit, but my God, he's, that must be the finest polyester you can buy that he's wearing right now. That tweed, and it looks as, he's, that pinky ring of his, I bet you that's pure, solid gold. You seem a little bothered by that. I think he's even had his teeth capped.
Are
you okay, Miss Crown?
I'm fine.
Okay, you and Gemini are going to have a lot to talk about. I'm sure this is going to be exciting and new. Okay. All right. So everybody sitting around the table that they were, sitting at previously before, you remember when the captain started vomiting up blood and, started all this. But I promise nothing like that's going to happen this time. So how is everybody doing? Being back in the bright lights, being asked these questions. So Gemini, you seem to be sweating a little bit.
It's hot.
Oh, is it the bright lights?
Yes.
I see.
Sorry, I'm used to wearing less clothing. It's quite warm in here. Could we maybe get a fan or something?
Of course. So the camera crew, motions over, and one of the PAs comes over and
Yes. Like that.
Okay, so Victoria, you can feel the camera staring at you, in long, uninterrupted shots. Just bringing that up. How does that feel?
The only reason I'm back on the ship is so I can investigate what exactly happened here.
Ah, I see. Okay. So, I don't know if you remember, and this is what being interviewed. So Douglas Falcone did not come down aboard, of course, because, something about him doing a reunion with the rest of the Space Pioneer cast, at some game convention. But the interviewer is bringing up the fact that, since the incident, that one of the questions that exists is the disappearance, of course, of the Turtle Dove singers. Are you familiar with Danny Turtledove, the 14-year-old redhead bass player of the Turtle Dove Singers? And suddenly everyone remembers Danny Turtledove. Oh yeah.
I remember Danny Turtledove.
Oh, do you, Gemini? Oh, so it's said that Danny may still actually be aboard, the Tangerine, although of course that the U.S. Coast Guard have assured us that there's nobody else left aboard the ship. What are your thoughts about that?
If anyone is left aboard this ship, we will find them, and we will make sure that they are not left aboard this ship when we leave.
Oh, good. I'm really glad to know that you are going to keep everybody on board. Leave until you feel satisfied that there is nobody left on the ship.
Oh, yes. There will be
Shadowing.
none left.
Well, doesn't everybody feel like they're having a good time?
So much fun.
Victoria's gonna like stand up from the table and go, "This is stupid. I have work to do."
Okay, so Victoria stands up and says, "This is stupid. I have work to do." What does everybody do at this moment? Just curious.
Are you still wearing cat suits?
Yeah. It's an even better one this time.
I think Gemini gets up and moves over and says, "Yes, there's much work to be done. By the way, impeccable cat suit."
So Gemini is very close into what we like to call your personal space.
I'm gonna put
And
my
Gemini
hand-
has that kind of weird perspiration smell that smells a little like electricity and pharmaceutical drugs.
I'm gonna put my hand out on your shoulder and give you kind of a shove out of my personal space. I kind of push you with a very hard metal arm.
I think I'll try to dance with it. Like, I'll try to spin.
Okay, so you're going to get out of the way? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, let's get out of the way.
Okay, roll some dice.
All right, let's see. Where's get out of the way?
That is a basic move.
Take a hit or get out of the way. Okay.
Yep.
Dodge.
Roll
What do I
plus
roll?
hustle.
Hustle. There it is.
Do the hustle.
Do 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 do. Uh-oh. That is a not good. Hustle. Oh, it's a total of 5.
Good. So, surprisingly, everybody, for whatever reason, Victoria has grown immensely strong because as you hear some sort of like, metal servo or like some sort of pneumatic pump go off, and you see fly across the entirety of the dining room backwards into the side of the dining room. Now, not only does it take 1 harm, but you all feel.
Oh, you broke up there. What was that?
The ship is going. You want to do it one more time? The ship is going. And
Oh, wait,
you
my camera's
all
flipped.
you can all see that the furniture is starting to slide. And specifically, you can feel that the entirety of the ship is rolling over.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And you can tell that the ship itself has flipped upside down.
Hang on, let me just go flip everybody's cams real quick.
Yeah.
So, what do you do, Vincent?
Are these tables, because it's a ship, are any of these tables like kind of like screwed down?
So that's interesting question. So some of them have, like basically the ones that are currently off shot are, and these are shot ones that have been covered in rust and muck. The only tables that are not bolted down are the ones that were set up by the camera crew for this specific shooting, along with like the area to block off the rest of the torn up dining room.
As the ship starts to tilt to a degree where I can slide, I want to aim myself to slide towards one of the bolted down tables, and I want to grab onto it.
Okay, Samantha, what are you doing at this time?
Well, as soon as Gemini gets flung through the air, probably jump up and run over to try to assist him, because that looked like that might have hurt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Victoria?
Oh, okay. I kneel down and punch through the floor to grab the like metal rebar that's through the bottom to like hang on with my bionic arm.
Oh, good. punching through a wall is always an entertaining thing, or floor, especially when you're doing it in a ship that's flipping upside down.
Yeah.
So let's roll some dice on that one. See what happens. It'll go fine.
What could go wrong?
What
Roll
could go
plus
wrong?
might.
Oh my. So that's a 5.
All right. That's plus your might.
Yeah. Yeah, I rolled a 3.
Okay.
So yeah.
And I'm going to probably have enough time to go grocery shopping today because I think our game may end real early. I'm happy about that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's for you. It's for you, Dave. I wanted to help you with your schedule today.
I got my honey-do list is very long.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
enough. Okay. If this was a TV movie, this is when for specifically the song When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin. Because when she grabs in, because she's reaching in, and she punches right through the dilapidated wood, and as she does so, you can see things seep up into dining room area, and it's moving pretty darn quickly, actually. And the water itself, might I add, is not fresh. In fact, it's specifically probably one of the old sewage lines. But the good news is that after 4 years of being held underneath the water, that sewage line needed to come up. Because not just the incredible smell you've discovered, but also, I don't know if you knew this, but creates methane. And methane, the gas smell, which might I add is highly toxic and flammable.
Yeah.
Methane is starting to fill into the overall dining room. What do you guys do? Meanwhile, by the way, the camera crew is filming everybody specifically, and is filming like real close to you, Vincent, to show how you still maintain your cool in a circumstance.
I'm gonna tell them to turn off the cameras immediately before the methane catches fire from the electricity.
Oh yeah, because so they're listening to you and they say, "Oh no, Mr. Peck, this is fine. This is the wave of the future. This is a Betamax video camera." There's no possible way this will catch on fire, except of course in the overall technology market. This is going to be the biggest thing in the world.
Well, I'm still hanging on. So the ship is completely upside down at this point, right?
It is.
Okay.
It totally is.
How far down is it from the table to the roof of the dining room?
About 8 feet.
I could fall that. I'll go ahead and fall. I'll just jump down.
Okay.
And then I'll start shouting at everyone to get out of the dining room. And I'll run for the door.
Okay. So what are you doing, Gemini, now that you're on the floor? You fell into... I'm sorry, that you're in the back wall. You have... luckily, the potted plant was there to brace your fall, so you're okay. Not as damaged. You did take the one harm.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you do?
So I'll dig the palm frond out of my coat, so that I still look good. And
Of course.
I'll stride towards the exit. And then as I pass the camera, I'll look dead into the cam and say, "Don't stop filming. Things are just getting interesting."
All right.
And then I'll
So-
keep walking.
Summers. Gemini gets up, and Gemini looked a little disheveled when Gemini arrived. Now Gemini does not look, together whatsoever. And you just watch Gemini, try to smooth out Gemini's weird hair, and say that to camera, and starts walking out.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you do?
Well,
Vincent is, of course, making a very solid, brisk pace to the upside down doors.
I'll follow behind Gemini just because we should get out of here, and he still is probably going to need some treatment. And staying in this enclosed space that's briefly or rapidly filling up with excrement and methane gas probably should get outside.
Yeah. And what are you doing, Victoria?
Oh, well, obviously I'm being super helpful, and I go to.
Oh, you're pulling your hand out?
Yes, I'm pulling my hand out of the. Yeah. Yep.
So. And you glance over and you see that as Victoria's coming to her feet, having pulled out her hand, which is, might I add, very, very strong. Yeah, the water is now the sewage water is now gushing into at a very quick pace.
Yes. So I pull my hand out, and I would go over and crush the pipe on both sides to try to stop the flow of shit into the room.
Roll plus might.
Come on, let's do better this time.
Ooh.
Yay! All right. 8.
Okay, great.
Wait, do I add those 2 together?
Yeah, you add them together.
Yeah, you add
don't
it together.
Yeah, sorry.
So it's a lot.
A lot.
Like 13.
13.
There we go.
Okay. So, luckily, what happens is Victoria reaches down, uses the 2 pipes with her dainty hands, and you hear as she wenches the pipes shut from around the leak.
I've got it, guys. Don't worry about this.
That's new. I love how everyone just.
I want to take a look at her arm later.
So you walk up and say you've got this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think he smiles really big at you, and he's like, "You are going to be extremely useful. Come on, we've got work to do."
I'm gonna.
If this was a TV movie, this is when the background music would be the Valley of the Dolls.
Victoria looks at you, and one of her eyes kind of flashes a little bit, like a light, and she's like, "Stay out of my way."
Oh, I won't get in your way.
Da, 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 da.
I'll be right behind you. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
So Samantha, okay, you just saw her do something that obviously had to have been one of those incredible feats of adrenaline that you've been reading about. I do understand that a colleague of yours, Dr. Banner, has been thinking about, finding ways to accelerate the adrenal glands of the system, possibly by some form of radiation. This is very exciting. Maybe she knows Dr. Banner.
Gamma radiation, I believe, is specifically.
Well, he's working his way up. Right now, he's at a beta radiation. So he's like, first he tried alpha radiation.
Yeah.
Beta, alpha didn't work.
No.
Now he's trying beta, and then
Not promising
maybe he'll get
results.
to delta and gamma radiation. That's a possible too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone. So you guys are headed down the hallway. Is that what I understand?
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm walking behind and pull out a notepad, and I'm kind of taking notes on Victoria. It's like she's not her arm doesn't move the way a natural human arm would move.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely doesn't swing when I walk. It just stays
Yeah,
like.
it's very rigid.
Just yeah. Okay. Cool. And so, Vincent, what are you doing?
I'm running for the door.
Okay. So the door is upside down. Now, you guys are now at the bottom of the ship. Well, technically, you're at the top of the ship, but you're at the bottom of the floors, if that makes you understand what I'm talking about.
We're at the bottom of the top, but yeah.
So, all right. So there's the main hallway, and all the furniture, like the ashtrays and some of the potted plants. I always like pointing out the potted plants are flipped upside down, and there is a upside down sign. And shows directions, one to what looks like it was a Casablanca Lounge, and then another one talks about local gift shop, and the hallway continues down the road. So where are you off to? I assume you're trying to find the stairs.
I think I would be trying to get back to where the Eldritch Drive was.
Oh, in the engine room,
Yes.
which is now conveniently at the top of the
top.
ship.
Yeah. So we need to go up.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, since the ship is upside down, that makes a lot of sense right now. Yes, because we need to get out of here.
Yes.
Can you give me a
Especially because
boost?
walked over the hallway, and remember, because there's a door for the door jam, you step over it, and as you're walking down the hallway, you can actually hear the water. Well, actually, the water had stopped, but you can see that the water is just kind of barely at the edge of the door, the top of the door frame. And it's not gushing anymore, but it's there. So that's now become a lovely little kiddie pool in that room. And as you're walking down the hallway, the filming crew is, trying to capture every step that Mr. Peck makes, because Mr. Peck is the big star of our program.
Yes.
How far is everyone away from me at this point? So like I'm at the door to go, I guess, down, but I guess technically it's up at this point.
About 5-6 feet.
Okay. I'll start like screaming, get out, it's gonna catch fire. And
As you say that, the camera crew drops down to their knees so they can get you in a very action pose, and that PA with the fan so you can get the brush thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The air.
I scoot up into that shot next to him,
course
and I'm
you do.
like, "Are you doing a bit right now? Is this a?" And I look at the cameras and I say, oh, "Go ahead."
Midway through him talking, I grab him by the collar and I throw him in the door.
You throw him in the door.
Yep. I grab him by the collar and I pull him through the door.
Okay.
You're rescuing him.
I think I try to
Right.
bring him with me. I try to use the momentum, and we go try to pull him so we go together.
Okay. So if that's the case, then I think you, Jim, and I need to roll some dice. So
Okay. Come on.
roll plus might, because you're doing a grappling move.
Yeah, and I'm sure I don't have a lot of that. My might is it's a 0, so it's not -1. But that's a 6.
Okay. All right.
How do I
So-
roll opposed sober?
Well, the good news is that Gemini was reaching for you, flies back. Okay. And okay. So as Gemini flies back, manages to fall straight onto the door jam.
Mm.
The water starts rushing in. Now, granted, was at a pool level, or not a pool level, but it's stagnant. It's not. But the water pours all the way through, and it's right underneath. And the camera crew goes, while they're filming this, this is the best. This is the best footage we'll ever have. We're gonna get Emmys for this for sure. And all of them start shaking
Mm-hmm.
and then fall down, drop to their feet, or drop to to the floor, or technically the ceiling. Apparently, Gemini has taken out the camera crew.
You electrically
Well,
shocked them all.
Yeah.
possibly to death.
Nice.
Samantha?
Oh man. All right, so I'll run over to the I guess the director, the main person in charge of the film crew.
That would be the director of photography.
Okay. And with my stethoscope, start listening for a heartbeat, checking for pulse, make sure they're not dead.
Strictly unconscious, despite Gemini's best efforts.
Okay. They'll be fine. They're just unconscious. We should probably get them to an elevated position or elevated space so they don't drown on the water that's pouring into the room.
Oh yeah,
But
How many people are we talking here?
there's
they'll
about
recover.
4 of them.
Yeah. Maybe if we could just take their bodies and then sit them on top of the tables that are attached to the ceiling, they probably won't drown. I doubt the water would get that high.
I start taking the tapes out of all the cameras and stuffing them in my coat pockets.
You should, yeah, because this is
Gotta
great
s-
footage.
Gotta
You
save
do
the
not
footage.
want to lose. Yeah.
We need to get them to where they're not in any danger of drowning. But realistically, we can't bring them with us.
Okay. All right. So you need to go back into the dining room to put them up on the tables that are bolted to the ceiling.
Yeah, somebody take care of that.
I don't know why. I don't know why we're making fuss. Those are Vincent's kills. He's responsible for those.
They're not dead though.
Those are your kills.
They're not
threw all
dead.
of this.
They're nobody's kills. They're just unconscious.
You did this.
I can't reach those tables.
Gemini pulls out.
Just toss them. They'll be fine.
Gemini pulls out a long golden gun.
Everybody,
Holds it
Gemini
pointed
is-
towards the roof
Gemini is armed.
and says, "I'm done being thrown around. We're going to make our way to the top of the ship. No one is going to leave this ship that didn't come here today."
I'm about to tackle Gemini, but then I realize there's no one recording, and so there's no point.
Wait, what did you say? No one's gonna leave this ship. What?
That didn't come here with us today.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, but everybody here came with us today, so we can all leave, right? Just so I'm understanding you correctly. We get to leave.
You may, but it is of no concern.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
He's coked out of his mind. Let's just go.
So I go over to the 4 bodies and I kind of look at them and I evaluate their weight and I pick out the smallest of the 4.
The microphone guy. Okay.
Yeah, the boom mic guy.
Boom
And
operator.
I kind of pick him up and kind of like test a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I think I can handle this. And then I try to throw him on the table.
Well,
You're
that's
wasting
interesting.
time.
All right. So, oh, by the way, because you are, you know, of course, that because you're using X-Tech, you do get something extra for this, by the way.
Oh, right. That's right. I get to roll 3. Because I'm using my
Yeah.
arm.
Ooh.
So go ahead. So I think this is another strength roll, or a might
That's-
roll. So
that's a
roll. Okay. So Victoria, the delicate, violet that she is, manages to pick up the microphone guy and throw him feet in the air to get him right.
Yep. That's 1.
Good job.
And since it's 10, we'll just say that because we'll combine the roll to.
Okay.
She must have been working out.
Just
Problem
looking at
taken
the
care
arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Problem solved. Let's keep moving.
Great.
Oh, and by the way, when she does this, of course, it's. Sorry. It's important to have sound effects. Otherwise,
is.
what's the point? Okay.
What are we doing here? I mean, come on.
I'm going to take the boom mic with me.
That'll be interesting.
Unplug it from the camera and just tie the cord around the end.
Man, because
Just over my shoulder.
I swear to God, I'm so glad you figured out I don't trust Dave on this one, because if you had just said, okay, you're dragging the camera behind you,
Yeah.
which would have been funny
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah.
But, all right. So you have the boom mic now. Dr. Summers is now armed. All right.
10-foot long pole.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, I take the lead and I start heading my way. Oh, what were you saying, Dave?
Oh, no. Just the fact that that's a setup. At some point, that's going to be knocked down, the 10-foot pole.
Yep.
Just planting the post, the little flag.
Collaborative
At
storytelling.
some point, Chekhov's boom mic is going to come back up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, we're going down the hallway, looking for fun.
Yep.
And feeling groovy. All right. So, who's doing what? So, where you headed to, guys?
Up. Which I
Okay.
mean is down, but up.
Yeah.
Stairwell.
Yes, to the stairwell.
Okay. So, all right. Let's bring up something else here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, so as you're going or taking steps on the bottom of the stairs up work, as you walk up, you see that somebody has written on the wall of the stairwell, facing up. It's not facing upside down, but facing you correctly. It says, "The engine will save us."
Okay.
I knew it.
And what did you know, Gemini?
There are people still on this ship.
That is improbable.
It's good that we're here. It's important that we finish what was started. That we put to rest the nightmares.
The ship has been at the bottom of the ocean for years. How could anything be alive in here?
Yes, I didn't say anything was alive. I said they were here. And we're going to finish them.
Dun 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 dun.
Okay.
So, as we're passing one of the gift shops...
Of course, because there is a gift shop on this floor.
Yeah. I'm going to swing in and grab probably like a swimming toy that has a lot of rope to it. So like something that would be like a functional grappling hook, but is not necessarily a hook, right? Like something maybe like a bob, a ball that would have a rope to it, so you could like throw it out and so your kids don't get away or whatever. Something you could tie your kids up with. And so that I can, if I need a rope, I have like this long rope.
Okay, so there is, of course, the commemorative, or the remains of the commemorative SS Tangerine volleyball net there, and there's also on the back is set up of like the nylon rope with the pylon or the preserver platoons there that looked like it was part of the actual props of the decorations of the gift shop to give it that kind of festive pool look.
Perfect.
Just kind of giving you stuff. And of course, There's several sets of the SS Tangerine home game. And over there, you see a whole bunch of Mr. Vincent Peck's books from his debut book that have been gnawed and formed into a giant rat's nest. Just pointing that out. I'm sure that won't have any effect.
So, can I do some crime scene investigation on
course you
this
may.
and the writing on the wall and okay.
Yes,
The
yes.
writing
you
is
can.
on the wall.
The writing is on the wall.
Oh my god, that's so many dice.
Hold on, I gotta clear that because I don't know what's new and what's not. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
What'd you get?
So 7?
All right, so ask me a question.
7. How did the perpetrator of this leave the scene?
Oh, interesting question. All right, so it would appear that there is a small that looks like it could be done at some point by a maybe 12-year-old maybe that could get through it.
A small what?
A
Crevice?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a cravat. Yeah, someone wearing it around their neck. Or no, a crevice that they can go through.
Okay. So a child-size hole in the wall. That's not creepy at all.
No, not at all.
I'm gonna go over and get down on my hands and knees and look in the crevice.
Okay. So the crevice is actually a long tunnel, and you can actually see a flickering light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh,
I promise you it's not a train, but there's not supposed to be any living people on this ship.
I will stand back up
Gemini is really close.
and like
Yeah.
I go to talk to
Again,
you and you're
Personal
like
space. Personal space.
What did you see?
I put out one finger and just like just move back a little.
He like looks at your finger and moves back.
You said no more pushing, so I'm not pushing. I'm just.
What did you see?
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Isn't there always?
No, like a literal light
Oh,
at the end of that tunnel.
are you going to go in the tunnel?
I don't know if I will fit.
He like looks you over. He's like, your catsuit won't snag.
I'm thinking we should go look.
Okay, I'll wait
The
here.
answer to your question is whether, could I fit in the tunnel? And the answer is it's a little bit thin, but, Samantha could. Just throwing that out.
Samantha,
Yes.
would you want to go in that hole and tell me what's at the other end?
You said there's a flickering light at the other end.
Yes.
No, well, that's what's at the other end.
You want to know what's causing the light at the other end?
I mean, how far is it?
About how long is that tunnel?
I'd say about 20 feet.
Shorter than a football field?
Oh, well, 20 feet is not a football
Well,
field.
No, I know, but I'm talking to the cheerleader.
There you go.
football field's pretty long when you lay it over the top of a cruise ship.
That's true. See,
But
it's not that far. You
sure.
shake your ass.
20 feet's nothing.
You shake your ass across football field, and this is shorter than that. So
Fine, but okay,
You'll be
fine. I'll go
fine.
check.
out of
So I'll,
character, I cannot believe you're listening to me.
Before you go in, Gemini sort of like puts his hand on your shoulder and looks at you and says, "You are always kind. Don't get hurt."
I roll my
Thank you,
eyes.
thank you, Mr. Gemini. I'll try not to. So, just go over to the crevice and get down on hands and knees and start crawling in there. I'll take the boom mic and just kind of push it all the way in there and just leave the microphone part sticking out of the entry and be like, all right, if anything happens, I'm going to grab onto this at the other end and you just pull me out.
You got it.
I hold on to the end of the boom mic.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'll start crawling through.
just dark,
Okay.
or at least halfway through it.
All right.
And then as you get closer to the light, you can see that there is writings along the tunnel, walls and in the ceiling of the tunnel. Somebody's been scribbling on it.
Okay.
And it doesn't seem to make any sense. It looks like maybe an 8-year-old wrote it. Okay.
Mhm.
Because, letters are misspelled and what have you. And it talks a lot it's kind of weird. It looks like it's a transcription, but it's very well, to be honest, it looks like a crime novel that's been written on the walls.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's probably pretty cramped in there, but would I be able to pull out my my prescription pad and my pen and start writing down what it says?
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. So once you get in there, you can see that, or into the actual, once you get to the end of the tunnel, you can see that this used to be a broom closet. And the broom closet has been turned into some sort of strange makeshift. And so you can see, the remnants of the dining room candles are everywhere, and drawn on the side of the broom closet, like it's in crayon, a picture of a man wearing a cheap suit, holding a cigar or a cigarette in his hand. Very familiar.
Okay.
And it's and written above it in crayon, it says, "Our Savior will come."
All right. Savior will come. Write that down. Savior will come. Man in
Right.
cheap suit with cigar. So they're probably talking about Vincent, I would imagine. The last time we were here,
Mm,
he was wearing a cheap suit.
I shouldn't meta. I think it's someone else, actually.
Okay. Cheap suit with cigar. Savior. All right. Is there anything else in this little room that looks interesting?
Yeah, it looks like it's a like a little in there are old like gifts for children in the from the gift shop have been tucked away in here, and it actually has certain hallway or little carved areas that look like it's other small tunnels. It looks like it's if you hadn't known it before, it would look kind of like like a what people would have for their pets, where they have the tram, like the walkway, things like for hamsters, but it looks like it'd be done for like an 8-year-old. Okay. And you can see that there are different hall or tunnels going into different directions down here, and some of them have been lit and some of them are dark. So what do you do, Sammy?
I'll just grab one of the little gift toys from like the gift shop, grab one of those, stuff it in a pocket, turn around and start crawling back towards where I came in. Back towards the group.
Okay. And as you start walking back, crawling back actually, because you're on your hands and knees, you can hear like some sort of child's whisper behind you, in from one of the other tunnels. That's not creepy.
No, not at all. So I'll start crawling a little bit quicker.
And now you hear it's chatting with somebody else.
Yeah.
And now you can hear scrape, scrape. Like something is being, scraped along the floor.
Yeah. So I'll hopefully get back to the edge of the boom mic and grab on very, very tightly and start pulling it.
And you hear two children laughing with one another as they're scrape.
I start pulling the boom mic.
Okay. Gemini, what are you doing?
So I'm probably I can't. Okay. So Gemini is going to get down on one knee, and have his gun ready for whatever is about to follow Sam out of the tunnel.
To you, Gemini, you can hear your gun breathing heavy.
I'll pull the gun up like this, like I'm getting ready, like I'm thinking, but really I'm whispering to it. What's coming out of the tunnel, and should we kill it?
Are you freeing your mind?
I think I am.
It's plus soul, please.
Oh my. I'm a little scared of you.
Okay. So that is an 11, and then I think my soul is high. So, I got plus 2 to that. So 13.
Okay. So your question is, should we kill what's coming?
Yeah.
And the gun responds to you. No one else hears this, might I add. The gun responds saying, this place is damned. None should survive.
But we do hear him talking to his gun.
Oh, yeah. It's very clear he is. I mean, there's no joke about it. And, of course, when you're holding... and Kurt, have you ever seen the movie Videodrome?
I don't think so.
Okay, no worries. So... while you're holding the gun in your hand, you can feel the gun is holding you back, and that you can feel, like the gold lame of what once was your magic flute slowly, like dripping along, along your fingers and slowly coming part of your hand, as you can feel it slowly molding into, as to an extension of your person. Vincent and Victoria's got the boom mic. Victoria, Gemini is just like staring at his hand while talking to his gun. That's always a good sign.
So, like metagaming, I wish you would have said, should we shoot stuff that's not Samantha coming out of that hole?
Oh, and if you do watch Videodrome, don't watch it with Kurt 3.0 in the room. Do not.
Good to know.
It was, back when David Cronenberg, was a little crazier than, Yeah, if you've seen The Fly, you will kind of get an idea of the kind of things that Videodrome includes. Okay. So, but that's not important right now. So... okay. What are you doing, Samantha, as you're hustling to get out? So you've got a hold of the...
Yeah, if she's pulling me, I'm just laying down flat. I'm just getting dragged out.
Okay. And Vincent, what are you doing?
Watching. There's really nothing. I mean, she's got the pulling of the boom mic under control, obviously.
Okay.
So I'm just
All
gonna
right.
let her do it. She's way stronger than me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So she pulls out Samantha, and Samantha. So Samantha, are you're wearing the dress and the high heels, correct?
Yep.
Oh, like the lab coat. Okay.
Mhm.
So you've got some scabbed up knees
Oh.
again. All right. Or scuffed up knees. Not the first time in your life, might I add, but we won't go into that. All right.
It's all right. My
All right.
calluses are fine.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. So,
I googled that handgun. Oof.
I wonder what Dave means. Ah!
Okay.
Okay, so go on.
yes, if I get dragged out, there's some spooky stuff in there. I'll just be looking down the hole, and there's kids in there. They're laughing. I heard some laughing kids, and they were dragging something. So
Leave them to me.
Were they coming up
Okay.
behind you?
it sounded like it, yeah. But there's a lot of tunnels in there, so I'm not 100% sure that they were right behind me.
Mhm. And of course, touching onto her little notebook.
Yeah, I'll just read it back. There's a bunch of scribbles on the wall. It says a bunch of stuff. Doesn't really make any sense. Sounds like a detective novel. It was scratched on the wall in crayon. And then it said the savior is coming. And there was a picture of a guy wearing a suit, holding a cigar, smoking a cigar.
Okay. So now I can ask the question. I don't think I smoked cigars, but I think my publicist did. I don't recall his name, though.
I actually said cigarettes.
Oh,
Cigarette.
okay.
It's okay.
Can I use my encyclopedia memory to get any information about this?
Sure.
Six.
Encyclopedia memory.
Okay.
That's a whole lot of
So-
nothing.
All right. So describe how you're standing, Samantha, and how everything is here.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, I just got dragged out of the hole, so I'd probably back up against a wall and still be sitting on the floor.
Okay.
I'm probably like leaning
Floor.
over her looking at what's written on the pad.
Next to the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be probably next to the tunnel, just my back up against the wall.
Okay.
Since
And-
Gemini, I imagine, is kind of kneeled right there next to it with his gun.
Okay. And what are you doing, Gemini?
I am waiting for a target.
Okay. And what are you doing, Vincent?
I grab Summer's notes and I start reading through them because now I'm wondering if that's me she's talking about.
Yeah, these look like the third or fourth chapter of your first novel that have been translated by a 10-year-old.
I'm
So
gonna snatch back my subscription pad, snatch it back, and be like, "No!" and just take off the one sheet and hand it to him.
Okay.
You know how much trouble I can get in if I just hand out my subscription pad?
it's true.
To me, you'd be fine. To Gemini, yeah, you'd be in trouble.
I have my own prescriptions. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you do.
We have more pressing matters, though.
And you guys hear as the ship groaning as it's starting to slightly shift again, almost as if it's sinking back to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Here we go again.
We need to hurry up and move.
Did anything poke its head out of that hole?
Nope.
All right.
Sounds like we need to get to the engine room, though, right?
You could.
We need to see what's left of the Eldritch Drive.
Let's go. I mean, but we need to hurry.
I grab Oreztes, what's your character's name? Stephanie? Samantha. I knew it was an S. I grab Samantha by the back of the dress and like pull you up onto your feet so you're standing. I'm like, let's go.
Peek. Okay.
I'm gonna take off my high heels because it's gonna be moving quick. Taking off my heels. And I'm gonna grab my boom mic off the floor. I need this. All right, let's go.
And when you pull the boom mic out, you can see at the bottom of it that there has been the tip of it, some like little cloth doll that has been created, and it looks like it's wearing like a brown burlap. It almost looks like they're trying to make a 3-piece suit out of so it's a little figure and it's sitting there and it's tied to the end of the boom mic.
So I'll take that off, untie that, and take that off, and then give it to Vincent. Be like, this is your problem now.
This is so creepy.
Oh my god. We should get moving.
I'm gonna shout down the tunnel and say, "Whoever you are, come quickly, get to us."
Oh, you're calling them.
That is
Calling them.
ill-advised.
I am calling them. This is a kid. Some kid in here.
Who's been living at the bottom of the ocean for 5 years?
Yes, let's dance.
Yeah.
So you hear at the end of the tunnel, because it's echoing through, like two kids giggling, and you can hear scraping as it slowly comes closer to you guys.
Victoria, should we start making our way to the engine room and let the boys play?
So
Scrape.
Gigett freaked the fuck out by children.
Scrape.
Victoria would want to stay and look and see what's happening.
It too much, by the way. You can definitely do that.
No, it's fine. I think I would probably
backing away.
position myself between you and the hole because you are the least armed person.
Yep.
Okay.
Backing up a little bit, backing away from the hole.
And I will pull out my weapon as well.
Okay. Technically, you're in. Never mind. All right. So closer. Two figures come out, and the two figures are like about 11 and 12. It's a boy and a girl, and they look like they look like they could pass for twins, but one's taller than the other a little bit. But tattered burgundy tuxedos, with the sleeves have been ripped off, and they're just carrying like makeshift they've obviously pulled from the kitchen area, and they're looking up at Mr. Peck. And they're very dirty, and it looks like they smell like they've probably been. Yeah. So okay. So
Do they look alive?
They do not look like zombies.
Okay.
I want to try to keep my cool or something, because Kurt doesn't want to shoot two kids, but I think Gemini is crazy. So is there a keep your cool?
Yeah, roll plus smooth.
Okay. Okay, so that's 6 on the dice, and then I think I have a +2 smooth. So I get that's an 8.
Good. And they're looking at you. Are you Mr. Peck?
I am. How long have you been down here?
And they're whispering back and forth in another, where they're making certain words sounds like it makes sense, but some of them don't. Mm-hmm. And it's like a gobbledygook of English, but also, different words that sound made up, and bastardizations of other words, and
Oh, you broke up there.
they say Donnie was right. You
Okay.
came back for us.
Where's Donnie?
And they speak whispering to you, back to themselves. We've been waiting for you, Mr. Peck.
Where's Donnie?
Hold on, let me make sure I pull the correct area there.
Donnie was the name of the band kid, right? That was trying to score coke off me.
Yes, who was also at the time wearing a complete burgundy velvet tuxedo, who played with his family, the Turtle Dove Singers, and made references to his two younger siblings.
Yes.
So, out of character, real quick, which one was the one who got pushed off the edge of the ship?
That was Donnie.
Oh, okay. Just checking. And who did the pushing last time? If I remember correctly, who was it that pushed Donnie off the edge of the ship?
I don't remember which one pushed Donnie.
Was
off
it Vincent?
I don't either, actually.
Or was it me? Gigett is pointing at Vincent.
Pretty sure it was Vincent.
Yeah. Just so we're clear. I was just, for my own sake.
Yeah. Pretty sure it was Vincent.
Okay. Donnie's
It was me.
Donnie's where he always is. He's in the atrium.
The atrium.
Havana Land.
Is that the club that was in the basement? Yeah.
Oh, it's right on the way to the engine room.
Great.
What a coinky dink.
Havana Land, yes.
Havana Land. Yeah, that was the club that we didn't go look for the kids in. We just left them down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're great people.
Pull back.
Yeah.
Call back.
Well, we need to get to the engine room. We don't really have time to mess with this, so...
No, you have to come, Mr. Peck. They're all waiting for you.
No, that doesn't sound like a thing I want to be any part of.
So
I'm sorry, but we have to go to the engine room.
Yeah.
Samantha,
these kids... Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to walk up behind Gemini and just kind of lean up and quietly whisper in his ear, "They didn't come here with us."
Oh!
You whisper that to Gemini?
Yeah.
So when you get close, you can see that Gemini is sweating, and he's whispering to his gun, "They're just kids. The kids aren't all right. They're just kids. The kids aren't all right. They're just kids. The kids.
I'm gonna look at Vincent and go, okay, so I don't understand. Do we kill the children? Do we not kill the children? What exactly are we doing here?
And then Gemini says, "Kill the children," and takes aim.
Yep. They
If
didn't come
anybody
here
wants
with
to try
us.
to stop that from happening.
So the kids hide behind Victoria, because they are only like 11 and 12. So.
Yeah, I'm going to try and stop him from shooting the kid. I would definitely do that.
I definitely don't know what we're supposed to do here. Like, do we kill children? Do we not kill children?
No,
what exactly is...
I'm not going to kill children.
Look, I'm not suggesting you kill children, okay? I'm not putting that into play.
I remember pushing the kid off the side last time because it was out of necessity and other people's lives were at stake. I don't think it was because I tried to kill him. I think it was a matter of...
I am actively trying to manipulate somebody else into shooting these children. Like I do in every game.
That's terrible.
Here, I'll solve this problem. And I turn around and I look at one of them and I use my flash vision to try to stun the kids.
Sure. Wow. Okay.
10.
Yeah. All right. So out of nowhere, it just grows bright and flashes, and the two kids just stop and they're stunned, frozen.
There, problem solved. And I like pick them both up and start walking out of the room.
Yeah, Victoria is definitely not how she once was.
I think Gemini is lost in some sort of like dream. He's having a moment, and he's probably still looking where the kids were before they hid behind Victoria and talking to the gun.
Okay. So, these kids are very emaciated, by the way. They look like they have not been eating regularly for the past couple of years. Poor kids.
I definitely like bump Gemini as I walk by with him under my arms. Like I'm got two kids under my arms and I kind of bump into you, probably knocking you a little bit out of your dazed state.
The kids. Where did the kids?
They're taken care of. Come along.
Okay. Did I do that?
No.
Okay. Steel yourself, Gemini.
Okay. So, what do you guys do?
I keep heading towards the engine room, which
Follow
is near Havana Land.
Follow Victoria, carrying my boom mic.
Because you do that.
Uh-huh.
All right. So you're quietly going up the stairwell, and you can, as you're going up the stairwell, the ship is creaking back and forth with every step that you take. And you get to a point where you can see faded brown, or it was probably not brown originally, but it's probably, burgundy at one point. That's blocking the overall pathway along and with a whole bunch of furniture, resting on top of it. So a lot of stuff that you'll need to be able to find a way to traverse to get through.
So kind of like a barricade of furniture.
Kinda. It looks like it's because of the ship flipping over specifically.
Oh, okay.
So,
Victoria, I think you're going to have to solve this problem.
Okay, and I shove the children at you.
Yes, give me the children.
Dun, 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 dun.
So I'll kind of go over to the furniture pile and kind of test it to see how precariously it's there. Like if I move something, is it all going to crash down on top of us, or?
Could try moving it, that kind of thing.
Okay. I will try to move the furniture.
Okay. So that's plus might. Go for it.
All right. Plus bionic arm.
Plus bionic arm.
10.
Okay. So you're pulling the pieces of furniture, and as you're pulling the pieces of furniture, you're pushing it down the hallway, and you can hear as it goes down the stairwell, splashing at the water at the bottom, so breaking down, and you can also see that there's the hallway there next to some of the next to the stairwell where people would normally be going through, and you can see that there is upturned furniture, another gift shop, and you can also see there is a dead shark carcass that's flipped over on its side right there on the hallway that looks like it's been eaten, or halfway eaten.
There's a shark over there. Is there another staircase? Because this might take a while trying to move all this furniture.
Yeah, there's another one in another section of the
I mean,
ship. Of course, there's two
we
main
could
ones.
try going down that hallway to the other staircase.
Will that get us closer to the engine room?
I don't know.
It will pass you by the Monaco Casino, might I add.
Because this is going to take a while and the ship is sinking. So I'm wondering, should we try to go take the other staircase?
Does that involve us walking by that shark?
Yeah.
Well, the shark
probably.
is dead, so
I don't trust it.
that's fair.
I mean, it's got
I got
bite
nothing
marks
for
in
that. No, you're right. That's fair. I have not earned your trust for that. So
Dave has given us trust issues.
I didn't. Yeah, I respect that.
Yes, we would have to go by the dead shark.
Okay. Well, I'm following you. I mean, I'm in no position to lead here. This is very far outside of my wheelhouse.
How long do you think it's going to take to? Do I think it's going to take to move all this furniture?
20, 30 minutes, maybe.
Ooh, that's a long time.
Long time.
That's a
Could
long
be.
time when you're in a sinking boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. With two.
We could just set
crazy
the furniture on fire.
Yeah.
That
I'm
sounds
sure
like a
the
Gemini
methane
solution.
The methane has definitely aired out by now.
Of course, yeah, totally. There's a lot of ventilation in this upside down ship.
Yeah. Of course, the question is, how did the shark get into the ship?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too.
Uh,
So does it look like a fresh fish that's been eaten?
no, this
Super
looks
old.
like it's
Okay.
been there for a couple of months.
So there's probably a hole somewhere. We could try to get to the outside of the ship,
Yeah.
but we need to get to the engine room. I need to see what happened to that Eldritch drive.
Yeah, I want to see it too.
All right, let's go ahead. I am going to suggest that we go down the hallway and try to take the other staircase, because this is going to take a while.
Okay.
All right.
So Gemini is talking to the kids.
The unconscious kids.
Oh, they're unconscious.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I shoved unconscious bodies at you.
Ah,
Yeah.
so he's like propped them up on a table or something. Like found
Sure.
something. He's set them there, and he's sort of talking at them. Like, do you have nightmares, children? I have nightmares. Is it hard to sleep on the ship? I feel that way too. And he's like having a conversation, and they're not responding.
Oh, you're
Well-
creepy as fuck.
Don't look at me. You married him.
When I close my eyes at night, I see things like you. They come for me. Will you come for me if I leave you here? So I should. I don't want to.
The fuck?
All right. I'll leave you here.
Okay.
I'm gonna whisper in Victoria. I'm just like, fucking losing it.
He like lays them down on the table to leave them there. Like, rest well.
So then I declare that we're going to go down this hallway, and I go over and I start picking up the kids off the table again. And
What are you doing? They're
Take-
supposed to sleep. They need rest.
yes, they're going to
You can see that they are tired.
come with us.
Oh, I don't advise that.
I will take your advisement into consideration.
What a mom thing to say.
I decline your advisory. They are coming with us.
And he looks back to his gun and he starts talking to it and he says, I did what I could. They're coming with us.
Oh my.
All right.
All right, so we start moving towards the dead shark.
Okay. You get closer to the dead shark, you can see that it looks like it's been, in some ways, or like its guts have been carved out. I don't mean to be disgusting, but it looks like, it was not brought in, or that it was not killed by an animal. And the fact that it does look like something got it and dragged it out. And the question is, where did it come from? And as you get closer to the casino, you can see where it came from, in the fact that the casino itself is filled with water. There's two things about the casino that's kind of a surprise. Is that the entirety of the casino is of the casino is filled with $100 bills that are just floating all over it. And the other thing floating in the water towards the back, because it's kind of uneven, so you can see like a dip there, and you can see a shark's fin slowly circling around that has, inside several sharks too, around an entire pile of stacks of $500 bills.
There's some rich sharks.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you can see that the money itself had come from the casino office, right? Which looks pretty, beef.
It is unfortunate that room is full of sharks.
Yeah.
We should keep moving.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
I'm
money.
tempted, but I'm not messing with the sharks.
I think he looks at Gemini looks at Vincent. That's a lot of money. Don't you like money?
I love money, but I also like having my arms. No offense, Victoria.
She seems all right.
Well, she seems better than all right.
Wouldn't you like to be better than all right?
No, I'm good, thank you.
There could be something interesting in there.
I step away from him. I'm getting like creeped out.
Very well.
I think it's interesting that room is not leaking, that it's staying full of water,
Yeah.
even though we're upside down. I'm
I
very,
think the
I'm very
engine is-
worried that our movement and talking this close to the glass is going to attract the sharks, and that glass isn't going to hold forever. So maybe we should continue moving on.
Yeah. I think this
Maybe-
engine is doing something to this ship.
Maybe
No
the
shit.
maybe the children could be a distraction for the sharks. If they come after us.
As I said, you can still see the fins, circling back and forth, surrounding the little islands of $500 bills and stacks that are floating on top of the water.
When you signed your Hippocratic oath, did it say thou shall not do harm except to children or something? Like, why are you so bent on killing these kids? What the hell's
She's
wrong?
not a pediatrician.
Because
I'm pretty sure the Hippocratic oath doesn't have a date, an age range.
because 4 years ago when we were here, these things were still here. I don't believe that these are still. I mean, I haven't
Children.
examined them.
They're alive.
Are you sure?
Are you sure they're dead?
We've seen things on this
Check a
ship.
pulse.
Guys,
I'm
you're
not
already-
touching them.
You're arguing rather loud next to sharks.
I'm backing up.
I'm not examining those children.
Have they aged? The kids?
They look, yeah, because when they were originally on the boat, they were probably about 5, 6.
Right,
Now they're
okay.
like 10, 11.
So they've aged. They've grown.
Hmm.
I'm going to very earnestly suggest that we keep moving. These sharks are going to get very excited about us being here very quickly.
Okay, let's go.
I agree.
I'm following the leader.
Okay. And you can see, so who is leading?
I think I am now.
Yeah, I think so.
And then who's next?
I think it'd probably be me.
And then?
Me.
And then?
And then. So yeah, I guess Samantha's bringing up the rear.
Okay.
And I've got the kids.
Okay. So Samantha, as you're the last one walking out, you notice that the fins of the sharks have stopped moving. Which is weird.
Yeah,
Sharks-
I mean, I'm not a marine biologist, but sharks aren't supposed to stop moving.
I thought they couldn't breathe if they stopped moving.
I mean, that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's necessarily true because that's not my field of study, but they probably shouldn't be stopping like that.
Okay. And you can see them slowly, their heads are slowly peeking out over the water.
Yeah, they're definitely not supposed to do that. I'm going to push my way past Vincent and start running from them. I'm not wearing my heels.
So Samantha just started racing down the hallway in her bare feet.
What the hell just happened?
Samantha?
Sharks, man.
I will start running after her. I have very good danger sense.
Yeah, you don't have to be the fastest, just faster than everyone else, or one person.
It's just faster than the slowest person.
Yep, okay. So, Vincent, Gemini, what are you doing?
I mean, I look back. What is she talking about?
And you can see that just on the edge of the surface of the water, you can see the fins and the heads of the sharks just kind of sticking out with black eyes staring at you guys.
Oh, I shoot at them.
Oh god, don't shoot at the glass.
Of course he does.
Go ahead, plus hustle. And you get something extra because Gemini is no longer a rocker. Gemini is now a vigilante. And so when Gemini fires things using the weapon, it's with something extra.
All right.
Are you
hustle is +2. So that's a 10.
So, Gemini is firing at the sharks with the golden gun. And every time that he fires a shot from his gun, instead of just hearing like a normal shot, you hear something like a flute play. Like.
Okay.
Good callback,
right,
huh?
Because you had to sacrifice your whistle for the.
Yep, my flute is now a gun, and it's all decorated, like it's pretty. The
awesome.
gun looks like the flute. And so he's firing, and he says, "Goodbye, nightmares. Goodbye." It's like eyes are wide.
Oh Lord.
That's okay. So just as a reminder, Spirit of 77 and this adventure, Return to the Cruise Ship of the Damned, is available through Drive-Thru RPG. And we do have a Kickstarter for our newest game at town called Malice, which is available. You can find us either going directly through Kickstarter, or you can find us at the Kickstarter page by going to the URL monkeyfunstudios.com Malice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
right.
if you scroll up, End of Line did link it in the chat as well. So if you're watching this live, there is a link to the Kickstarter in the chat.
Mm-hmm. All right. So for those of you just joining us, or just to remind you, so the crew or the cast of our merry little game have been brought back to the SS Tangerine after its clutches 4 years ago, when a terrible accident caused all the passengers and guests to become ravenous zombies. And since their return, the ship has flipped upside down, and in their escape, they have gone by a casino filled with water and sharks, and Gemini, the former glam rocker who now is a vigilante with a golden gun, has fired at the sharks in the casino. Card sharks, if you will.
Really?
What? Jeez.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nobody appreciates this sort of humor. All right.
Tough crowd.
Tell you, it's a tough crowd. So Gemini is shooting at the sharks, who are now retreating down into the water again to get away from the gunshots that are firing. Luckily, the guns firing is not like just echoing. Instead, it's like little flute noises that are flying through the air. Oh, you can. I'm sorry, my cat's like
I know.
on a patch. Put on the patch. Our cat has a smoking habit. No. We bought those treats, those nicotine treats for you. Sorry. All right, so our cat has some issues. All right, so you all are all walking down the hallway. Gemini's been firing away. What do you guys do?
How is the glass on the window he's been shooting through?
Poking little holes, bang, 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 and then the water is slowly pouring through, but not too much, because it was a big success. So
right, okay.
Did I kill the nightmares?
Well, you're firing at the nightmares. They've backed away. How many shots are you going to be taking at the deal?
Do I have to reload my gun?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay. I think he just fires 2 at each shark, so at each nightmare, like pop, 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 and then if it seems like they go away, then he'll stop firing.
Yep, they go away.
Okay. Yeah. He turns and caresses the gun, and he says, "Yes, we will drive back the nightmares together."
All right. So
turns back to the group.
Yeah. When you turn back, everybody's just wide-eyed and not moving.
I drove back the nightmares. You're welcome.
Shaking my head.
Let's not shoot at the glass anymore, okay?
The glass was between me and the nightmares.
Yeah, it's also keeping the water out.
I do not dream of water. I dream of being trapped on this ship with the nightmares.
I dream of getting off of this ship alive.
Oh, you have better dreams than me. We should talk.
Let's keep moving.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It is. All right.
All my medications are prescription now. Thank you.
Do you still have
what
an
are your
obsession with lava
medications?
lamps?
No. What? What are my medications?
What are your medications? Because they might be causing some kind of conflict.
Oh, man. I was in a psychiatric facility in the 70s. They probably put me on acid.
Okay. Okay, so all right. All right. So what? So where are you guys to? Just gonna walk down the hallway, or where are you headed?
I'm looking for the other staircase.
And you can see a carcass of another shark that's there, and this carcass looks like it's been ripped open with something with very sharp teeth and claws.
All right.
Were there animals on this ship last time?
Not that I recall. No.
Only a very small polar bear.
The polar bear.
Yep, that's what it is.
I mean, it's a full-size polar bear now, probably, right?
Yeah.
My emotional support polar bear is here?
I don't know if it's going to be very supportive anymore.
Oh, he loved me very much. I'm sure he would remember me.
It's gonna be very emotional, though.
Yes.
You should shoot it.
What was his name? Marshmallow. Marshmallow. Where? I start looking for Marshmallow. Like I
Okay,
move
so
ahead.
Gemini is going down, looking, hollow his for Marshmallow. So
Marshmallow. Marshmallow.
Maybe don't yell.
Marshmallow.
You're gonna attract things other than marshmallow.
okay, and down the hallway you hear.
Marshmallow?
Yeah, that definitely seemed like a bear growl.
I drop the kids.
You just watch them bounce.
I gotta have my hands free.
And they're starting to come to, because that will wake them up after being dropped on their heads.
Yeah.
All right. Bear growling.
Where is it coming from?
From one of the staterooms, because there's, in addition to the casino, there's also staterooms here. And a
Right.
gift shop.
Gemini?
Marshmallow?
So you're calling to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Good
kneel
idea.
down and start tending to the children and checking on them and making sure that they're okay and pretending like I don't notice what's going on.
I'm going to be very carefully watching her examine the kids. And
Okay.
not.
All right, and the kids, the kids are, they're okay. I mean, they've been stunned, but, they're all right. As much as, emaciated, that have been locked in a cruise ship for 4 years, the bottom of the ocean can be. So, running after, so what are you doing? Are you running to the growling? What are you doing?
I'm not running to it. I'm sort of standing in an open area and calling out, Marshmallow! Marshmallow! Come, Marshmallow!
Okay. So there's growling from the stateroom. And what are you doing, Victoria? Yeah.
This is taking much too long. So I'm gonna go over and kick the stateroom door open.
Okay. And it looks like this particular stateroom has been where Marshmallow has been staying, like a bear cave kind of thing. There are the remnants of like a shark cartilage and some skeletal remains that you don't want to ask too many questions about.
I kick open the door and then
And yeah, Marshmallow is now a full-grown polar bear.
Yeah.
Probably 500 pounds. Probably, if it stood up on its hind legs, probably 9 feet tall. It's no longer the cutie pie Coca-Cola thing that that Gemini once had, which was like the little pet bear.
Marshmallow! Come to Daddy, Marshmallow!
I
Okay.
quickly move out of the way of the door so that Marshmallow can see Gemini.
All right, so roll plus,
You don't have a charm polar bear move on here, Dave? What's the matter?
technically what you're trying to do is you're trying to get what you want, and so you're getting what you want, so you need to roll plus smooth because you're trying to basically. Actually, no. Gemini would not be taking this like smoothly. Gemini would just fill the room with love towards Marshmallow. So it would actually be roll plus soul.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? Because there's no finesse here with what. It's roll plus soul.
Yeah, because I'm glamorous.
Yeah, trying to find a psychic connection with your former support polar bear.
Okay.
A little high.
So it's an 8 on the dice, and I have a +2 soul.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So
Okay, so so Marshmallow, cocks its head, looks over, and gets this dopey look on its face, and starts galloping at Gemini at full speed. And when Marshmallow is much smaller, would leap into your arms.
Yeah. Okay. So
Gemini, Marshmallow is getting ready to leap into your arms.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of the way. I think I'm gonna try to dive to the side and like hug Marshmallow and like use his momentum to pull me up on top of Marshmallow.
Let's roll some dice. Roll
Yeah,
plus
yeah.
hustle. This could be either very cool or very weird.
This is hustle, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or very bad.
So a 9 on the dice, and my hustle is +2, so that's an 11.
All right. So yes, doing like the whole Legolas horse ride thing. Does a swipe around and is now holding on to the back of Marshmallow, the giant polar bear, hugging the kind of, not really purring, but it's kind of, cooing happily that it's found Gemini again. This is not what you expected to see.
And I think Gemini's demeanor changes slightly. Like he's got his emotional support animal, so he like snaps out of the crazy for just a sec and like just buries his face in the fur and is just like.
I'm gonna look over at Vincent and be like, "This is ridiculous."
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So
And
now that
we need to get out of here.
that crisis is averted, and I don't need to use these two children as polar bear bait, I'm just going to leave them on the floor and just walk back towards the group.
Okay.
I don't actually care about the kids, but they were going to distract the bear if he came at me.
Okay.
Marshmallow's alive.
So the kids are looking at Gemini riding Marshmallow, and they are awestruck, and they say, and they're looking. Let's see. He has tainted the white monster. He has tamed the white monster. It's the prophecy.
What prophecy is this?
Oh, those were lost would return, led by our Savior. Yeah. And they're
You think
all
he's
like,
your savior? And I point at Gemini.
no. And then they point at Vincent.
Why is
Has
he
it-
the savior?
Because he who wrote the book of change,
The Book of Change?
the book of prophecies. We have hunted down, and they look over at Vincent and say, we have hunted down all the slayers as you foretold within your testament.
They're talking about my crime book. They think it's a prophecy. It's not. It's fiction. It's not real, kids.
And they're looking at it going, we don't understand.
I know you don't. It's fine. We need to get to the engine. Let's go.
Yes, you need to get to the engine. We can take you.
Let's go. Take us.
You're letting the kids take you. Okay.
Yep.
Shh, cautiously.
Okay.
And Gemini leans down to Marshmallow and is like, "If they get weird, you eat them." Marshmallow. And he's like super happy.
I'm going to approach Marshmallow very cautiously and be like, "Hey, Marshmallow, you remember me?" Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
He'll like pet Marshmallow's fur and be like, "That's Sammy. We don't eat her."
Yeah, don't eat Sammy. Remember I gave you all the pets?
Okay. So yeah, the polar bear is giving you side eye, but all right. All right. We will take you to Havana Land and then to the engine.
Can we go to the engine first, please?
Yeah, we don't want to go to Savannah Line. We want to go to the engine.
But you must be anointed first.
No. Engine first.
Okay.
If I'm your prophet, I'm telling you what I want. I want you to take me to the engine.
And they whisper to themselves. Okay. will want to meet with you afterwards. Otherwise, he's been waiting for you as your prophet.
Okay. Havana room after, but engine first.
Okay. So they're leading you up to or down to the bottom, which is technically up to the bottom, up to the bottom of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're taking you through. And so just a reminder of what the top is like. So there is the hallway, there's the cargo hold, there is the engine room, and then, of course, there's, at the very end, Havana Land.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't remember what the engine room looked like, the engine room previously was pulsating with green light before, okay, when it was on. Okay. Now what it looks like, it's just kind of a steady green glow. It's not pulsating. And it looks, something's been happening there, and you can see that the cargo hold's been thrust open and there's crap strewn all through the hallway, of empty suitcases and what have you. It looks like basically everything that was in the cargo hold was ransacked. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I will very cautiously approach the engine room.
All right, and the kids are going, she's going to the engine room. I thought, but what about the Messiah? We will bring his, we will bring the Messiah, our Savior, to the Queen, and after they take a look at the engine.
The Queen?
Yes, the Queen.
Who's the Queen?
And they look over, the Queen that was promised to the Messiah upon his return to be sacrificed to the engine.
Wait.
It's probably Becky.
They're gonna sacrifice someone to the engine?
They're looking. No?
I feel like if we're going to sacrifice someone to the engine, we should probably get the sacrifice before we go to the engine.
It's,
Yeah, that was the least convincing no kids have ever said in their lives.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if the engine demands a sacrifice, we should probably take one.
One kid?
One sacrifice.
So one of the kids?
Sure. I don't care. I mean, whatever.
All right.
Sammy doesn't care about human life anymore. All right, I'm going to approach the engine room door and very cautiously peek around the corner.
Okay. So what it looks like, okay, it has kind of the appearance, well, I'm going to take a step back here. So if you've ever been to a barbecue joint, you know that the back area has that kind of scent where it's not just cooked meat, but it's meat that's been cooked, like the drippings and the pieces, whatever, that's kind of been over there for years, depending on how long it's on, because the heat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So looking over, you can tell that the engine itself is not really on per se, in the fact that it looks like it's been hollowed out. It has basically been keeping a fire burning behind the engine's facade, because that's what the lights are coming from. It's not really on. But you see that people have been thrown into the fire, because you see the remnants of different skeletal remains still there that were sacrificed to the engine to keep the fire burning.
Oh my.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how come you haven't found anybody there, because whoever has been doing this has been slowly. putting them in there. Yeah.
Uh,
The past 4 years. Luckily, you're in there, so actually, you're peeking. You're not
I'm
going in
peeking.
yet.
I'm not going in. I'm peeking.
What do we see?
I'm gonna back away from the door and kind of go over to the group. So the engine's not on.
That's very delicate the way you put that.
The smell is that would be the sacrifices
Oh.
that they are making of people.
Who's making the sacrifices?
I think you should ask the children that question.
Nightmare kids. Who makes the sacrifice?
Oh, well, all of us do. In the name of the Messiah in the engine.
Okay, but who puts the people in the engine?
Well, we do. Those of us who have been anointed as the children of the engine.
Okay, so you're the bad guys. Got it.
No, we're not. We're doing what the engine told us to do.
And
How do you talk to the engine?
Duh. How do you talk to your gun?
Oh. And I'm going to ask my gun.
Yeah, they do have kind of a point.
Yeah, I'm going to ask my gun, is there still the presence of the Eldritch Drive here, or are they lying?
Roll.
What's
Roll
the
what?
roll for
Soul.
that? Soul.
oh great, we're letting the crazy guy consult his gun about this.
10 plus some numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 actually.
Okay. So okay, repeat your question to your gun.
Is there still the presence of the Eldritch Drive, or are they lying?
Now, normally your gun is, growls and speaks, right? And the gun goes, dude, those kids are nuts. I mean, really? They're talking to the engine? That makes no sense.
And I'll look back at everybody and I'll say, they're crazy. The gun says that you can't talk to engines.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. Why would they be talking to an engine of all things?
I know.
I mean,
What does Marshmallow think about it?
Oh,
Marshmallow's leaning back, doesn't like the smell.
of the gun?
Cooking meat from the engine room.
Oh.
Obviously. I mean, and your gun is kind of offended by all of this, might I add. Offended by the idea that these kids are being able to talk to the engine. Because your gun has some high standards, and this just doesn't make sense. And the gun continues on its little rant, being very derogatory about the kids being foolish enough to talk to an engine. Because engines don't talk.
Nightmare children? I think
Makes
that's what I'm
sense.
calling you. What happens if the fire goes out?
Oh, and the kids look at, oh. Then the whole ship will go cold and everyone will go away and all the plants will die.
Plants?
In Havana Land.
Oh, right.
Yeah. We definitely need to put that fire out.
Yeah.
That's how they've been surviving down here this whole time.
So, yeah.
Oh, we couldn't hear that, Dave.
Hold on a second.
Oh, sorry.
I think we should put the fire out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we definitely need to put that fire out.
What could happen?
Uh, How are we going to put the fire out?
We'll blow a hole in the wall.
Good idea.
Didn't we already do that?
Did we?
Well,
Is that how we put the engine out the first time?
With the bomb.
Well, I'm a little concerned that these children are going to turn on us. And I look at them.
And they're just happily smiling at you.
Oh, nightmare children. If we put the fire out, would you try to stop us?
Why would we stop you?
It's a question. I don't know. Why wouldn't you?
We have to ask Donnie. We don't know. We don't talk that much to people.
Oh, take us to him. We'll put him out too.
Okay.
Yeah, Donnie's probably that's who we really do need to speak to.
Okay. So the kids nod happily, and they walk in, and they lead you guys down towards Havana Land, or at least the doors, or the window, or the sign that says, the Havana Discotheque, but what they keep calling Havana Land.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna try and kill me in here, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So,
More than likely.
I mean, you're their prophet, right? You just tell them
yeah,
not to.
but it's no, I'm not the prophet. I'm the Messiah, I think, and they're gonna try and sacrifice me for the prophet, or maybe the opposite of that.
I don't
gonna
know how
try
all
and-
that works.
Victoria, I would really appreciate it if you did not let them do that.
So when I peeked into the barbecue room, was there anyone in there?
Not alive.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's-
So I guess we're going to Havana Land.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a bad decision.
All right. So as you get closer, you can feel like the air is starting to get cooler, as you walk up, and you can see from the open doors, like green plants growing inside the discotheque. And as you get closer, you see moss has grown along the open door.
That's strange. How did this grow down here? Samantha, you're a science person of science. How did this happen?
Well, it's damp down here. I mean, I don't know. I don't see any soil or anything. It's probably just moss. Moss grows on trees in the forest.
Is it
I-
toxic?
Excuse me for just a minute, guys. I apologize. Hold on a second.
Sure.
I'm
no
sorry.
problem.
We'll vamp.
Is it toxic? Is moss toxic?
I don't believe so. I mean, you can probably eat it.
I mean more like spores in the air. I mean, is this what is making everyone a little crazy down here?
I don't
I
know that
think
they're
it's-
necessarily crazy given the circumstance.
Yeah, I think it's more than the moss. I think it's being trapped underwater in a sunken ship for 4 years.
Maybe you should make the polar bear eat some.
No. Marshmallow, don't eat that. Well, why don't you have some of your nightmare children eat it?
I don't exactly have control over the nightmare children like you do the polar bear.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
the
don't have that
prophet
much
should
control
ask
over
them to
Marshmallow.
eat it.
I'm pretty sure Marshmallow would eat you.
Kids, do you guys eat this? Is this something you guys normally eat?
I guess we will have to wait for Dave to find out.
So Gemini will move Marshmallow over to Sam, and he's petting the fur, and he looks over at you and he's like, "So, it's been a long time. Are you
Yeah.
okay? You seem well."
Yeah, I'm great. How have you been holding up?
Oh, terribly. I have horrible nightmares every night about this ship. How,
That's awful.
how about you?
No, I don't have nightmares per se about this ship. I'm doing all right.
When
Hmm?
when we first met, you were a fan of my music. Do you still listen to it?
Mhm. Sometimes, I mean, you haven't come out with anything recent, so it's pretty much just the old stuff. But sometimes when the mood strikes, I'll throw on an 8-track.
Everything I write now is terrible. It's all horrible. It's nightmare music. Nothing sounds right anymore. But I'm sure that if we just make the nightmares go away, then
Mm-hmm.
I think I could sing again.
Yeah. What kind of instrument do you make this nightmare music with? I notice you don't have your flute any longer. I remember that was destroyed in the engine room.
And he holds up his gun, and it's like eating his hand, and he like caresses it, and he's like, "Yes, I've been forced to sing to a different tune lately." And he's like caressing the gun.
I don't think guns make very good instruments for music.
No, but they're good at getting rid of nightmares.
I think. Who is your primary care physician?
Dr. Felix.
Dr. Felix. Okay. I think I should have a conversation with Dr. Felix when we get home.
Why's that?
I'm very interested on your care routine.
Please don't tell Dr. Felix that I have a weapon.
No, why would I?
Okay. Dr. Felix.
Doctor patient confidentiality.
You're not my doctor. Do you want to be?
We'll see when we get back.
Hmm.
I think you deserve a higher level of care.
He like leans into Marshmallow and he's like, I think I know what that means.
Gemini, I heard you speaking of nightmares.
Yes.
What are your nightmares of?
Oh. Every night I dream of the twisted people on this ship and how they turned on one another and
Sorry about that.
this gross vomit. I can't get the memory of that night out of my head. Every night I try to escape from this ship, but they keep coming.
So, Vincent, are you going to ask the nightmare children to eat the moss?
Yeah, I want to ask the kids to. Oh, I want to ask the kids, do they eat the moss? I'm not going to ask them to eat it. But is this something you guys eat?
And they look at one another as if they're being tested. Sometimes,
No.
is this a question to see whether or not we're faithful, Messiah?
No, not at all. I'm just asking if this is something you eat for, that sometimes when you're hungry, do you guys eat this?
And they said, well, we're not supposed to because that's what allows us to breathe.
Ah, understood. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't eat the plant life, so the plant life will generate oxygen for them down here when they were submerged underwater. That's what I'm presuming.
And their
But they
oxygen bubbles.
can.
Yeah.
What, excuse me, nightmare children. How many people are in the Havana Club?
Well, all of the other children of the engine and Donnie and the Queen.
Is the Queen Becky?
And they look at you with wide eye. It's the prophecy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She is your queen, and we have saved her for you.
There you go.
Okay. Let's go.
For a minute there, I thought your camera was frozen, Gigett, and then I realized you were just stunned.
All right, let's go, guys.
Let's go on. Yeah, might as well.
Let's get the hell off this ship.
I'm gonna bring up the rear with Gemini. And be like,
Alright.
Gemini, whispering to him, Becky's not gonna be too happy to see us. I think you need to be very careful around her.
All right. So, when you enter the disco or Havana Land, you can see that the entire room is filled with plant life, and it looks like what they did is that they took all the potted plants of the entirety of the ship, or at least the ones that you haven't seen already, and emptied out the dirt onto the floor here in the disco. So it's a wildlife of palm trees and green moss and weeds. In the center of it is the cracked disco ball that's laying down there. You can see upside down, faded couches and what have you. And then, of course, there's the disco booth. And they go, that's the temple.
And what do we do in the temple?
Well, that's where Donnie is with the queen. And then, as you guys are looking up at there, you can see probably about 10 to 15 teenager-ish kids, younger ones, like between the age of 12 and 16, 11 and 16, all starting to come out of the different, the green areas, and they're all wearing beaten up clothing. It looks like all the children have still been down here for a while, growing out of their clothing and what have you. Kind of Blue Lagoon-esque in a way.
Mm-hmm. Lord of the
Flies. And the kids look over and Messiah, and they point over at Vincent, and they all reach behind them, and they all pull out paperback copies of Vincent's first book, and they all have been sitting, and they all prostrate themselves down, with the books there, going, we have followed the prophecy.
I roll my eyes, and I walk in and start searching for everyone.
So, Victoria, one thing to note is when you see the book, the cover of the book is all the same. Remember, Vincent's written a couple of books, from what you remember, but all of these are the specific book, okay, which is In Search of the Cannibal Killer.
Awesome. That's great. Why the hell did you write that book?
It's fiction. It's not real. They just don't realize it.
We have followed the prophecy. We have followed your commands.
Where is Donnie?
To the DJ booth.
I start walking towards the DJ booth.
Alone?
And people can follow if they want.
Oh no, I'm going with you.
Okay, Marshmallow's just looking around at the green,
I think Samantha's gonna stay with Gemini and Marshmallow.
I'm going with Vincent.
I'm going to pat Marshmallow and keep an eye on these kids and make sure they don't come after Marshmallow.
Okay. All right. So, as you walk up the stairs, okay, you hear... And when you get to the top, you can see two things. One, going back to the first episode of the cruise ship at the dam, fell over the water, right? And the question you said was, I didn't realize, or somebody I asked, how did he survive that? No, Donnie didn't, but Donnie's body is still up here and just set in a little throne. Feet is tied up and dirty. Becky looks like she has been like foraging, for a while, and she looks over at you and Samantha and wide-eyed goes, "Arr! Arr!"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Becky didn't come up. I'm sorry. She's looking at Vincent. Sorry.
Okay.
So it broke up a little bit. So just so I got everything, Donnie's body is on a throne, right?
Yeah.
And Becky...
Yeah, technically the DJ chair.
Okay, he's on the DJ chair. But it's just like a dead body that's like been set there?
Yeah, that's slowly becoming mummified.
Oof. And then Becky is foraging in here?
No, Becky has been tied, and it looks like Becky, looks like a mess. Like she has been, she looks like one that she's being held against her will. And two, it looks like she has been basically foraging on the ship for the past 4 years.
And at some point they caught her and tied her up here.
Yeah.
I'm going to run and untie her.
All right. You got to get me out of here. You got to get me out of here. They're crazy. They're going to eat us.
We know.
Eat us.
We know. We're going to get out of here. Come with us. I'll start walking down.
And they're very, and the kids, that have been coming up with you are like, we've pleased the Messiah. And they're whispering to one another. Oh, yes. Yes.
What are you saying to each other?
Oh,
Stop whispering to each other and talk to me. I'm your Messiah. Don't keep secrets from me.
hold on a second. Sorry. They said, we know you. We need to show you. We need to honor you. Oh, do we want to do it? We've practiced it long enough. Yes.
Go ahead, show me.
No, we have to get everyone together.
No, show me now. I have spoken.
Well, it'll ruin the surprise, but okay. Doing this little play back and forth with one another. And it's very strange, but you realize what they're acting out. All of you at the captain's table 4 years ago when started having the first problems, and it's become a little like play for them. But they're not getting it quite right, and they keep making Vincent, the hero of all of it, and then and then the puking and all that, and it's very strange that it's turned into some sort of strange religion. Follow down here.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of kneel down and look at them and say, "Hey, kids. The next part, I'm writing a new book."
A new prophecy.
Yes, a new prophecy. And here's what happens at the beginning of it. We take you and we escape the ship and we get you out of here. And then you get to tell everyone your story. And you get to share my prophecy with others. But we have to leave the ship. That's how the prophecy began. So I'm telling you what the next part of the next book in the prophecy is. And it's you and me escaping this ship and leaving.
Gemini starts talking to his gun, saying, no, the nightmares must push back the nightmares. We must kill the nightmares. The nightmares can't leave the ship. Nothing can leave the ship.
Well, that's going to end well.
I'm gonna look at Victoria with a nod and say, you have to do something.
I'm gonna go put out the fire. And I start slowly backing out of the room.
And they're all just all the The children of the engine are just staring at you. They don't know what you're doing, but they're all not. They are concerned because you're acting suspiciously.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm sure that'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally fine. Totally, everything's fine. I'm just going to go take care of something. I'll be right back. It'll be just fine.
Okay.
Start like trying to slowly back out of the room.
Okay.
Gemini is counting to try to see how quickly he thinks he could start taking out these kids.
Okay.
I'm basically trying to get away from the polar bear.
As you do.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I'm gonna run to Becky and start trying to help her.
Okay.
So
And
she's still tied up.
as you get there, she goes, Sammy, you C word.
That's an argument for later. We have to get you
I've been
ready.
You know what I've had to eat for the past 4 years while trying to hide from these crazies? I've
Probably-
eaten shoes.
I mean, what kind of shoes?
What the flats?
Oh. I'm so sorry.
Me too. My God.
Okay, hold still. I'm gonna help you.
Insane.
So I'll start checking her vitals.
Listen, you need to get that guy out of here.
What guy?
Their Messiah guy.
Okay, why?
Because they believe that he is, their Messiah.
Okay, well we'll take care of that. I'll say, Vincent, go
Sammy,
get.
Sammy, are you Protestant?
Am I what? No, I don't charge for it.
No.
Now be quiet.
No. Sammy. God, you never went to Sunday school in your life. What did they do with the Messiah?
What about him? It's just Vincent.
You'll see. I'll let you find out. I'll let you find out what happens. Yeah.
You're being too excited. Here, and I'll reach in my first aid bag and pull out a tranquilizer. And
I
sticker.
knew you cheated your way through theology class. What are you putting in my mouth? God, you're so stupid. Anybody knows that a Messiah has to die. So what do you do?
Vincent,
I reach in to protect the kids, and I pull them both close to me.
Mm-hmm.
The nightmare children?
Yeah. And then I pull out my gun.
Good idea.
And then I put a bullet. Shoot them, one of them in the head, so it'll go through both of their heads.
Are you serious?
Yep.
That ain't me.
I'm convinced at this point they are going to try and kill me.
So
Well,
I hear a gunshot go
Messiah.
off. I would pull out my gun.
We're gonna do that off screen.
Yeah, I would definitely pull out my gun and jump into the fray. The cannibal children fray.
So, okay, just so I'm clear, Becky is still up on the DJ booth, right? Like, so I ran up the stairs to.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not down on the bottom level with all the crazy children in the gunfight. Good. So we're up there
No,
safe.
but good thing you've medicated her, so she's
Yeah.
completely knocked out.
Yeah.
Down first, but hey,
Yeah. Now you got to carry her.
Yeah.
Or lever.
Okay.
Again.
So yeah,
again.
I mean, there's a gunshot, so I'm just taking cover down. But I don't have any. I have a boom, Mike.
You have a boomstick?
I have a boomstick.
Boomstick.
Literally,
Yeah.
literally just a stick.
I
Okay.
would So, I mean, I would cover you and yell for you to run for the door.
Who?
You.
Okay.
Like, if anything gets near you.
Yeah, I will. I will take your advice into consideration.
Okay.
Yeah, Gemini is by the door with Marshmallow, helping to make sure the nightmares go away.
Okay.
I definitely think we're killing all the children.
Well, what are you doing for the fire? Let me ask you that. Or are you leaving it?
I think we would put the fire out, right?
Yeah, we'll go.
I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I think if you kill everything alive down here, eventually the fire will put itself out when there's nobody left to.
Yeah, if there's no one to feed the fire, it would
Not if
go
the
away.
Eldritch drive is what's keeping the fire burning.
Yeah, but it needs bodies to
Needs fuel.
survive.
I'm not going to assume that, and I'm going to put the fire out.
We didn't
Okay.
start the fire.
I'm fine with that.
I mean,
Okay.
didn't we though?
Maybe.
Okay.
Technically, we started the fire with the explosion. The first time?
Okay. So you're going back into the engine room,
Yep. I'm headed in the
All right.
engine room.
the abattoir of the engine room. Okay. So yeah, so there's lots of, just to remind you of the way it looks is that there are, of course, the metal pipe barriers surrounding it, and the bodies that have been burnt to a crisp within it. Sorry, it's disgusting, I know. And of course, the panels that are covered in dust and grime and schmutz. And you can see that the insides of the and have been pulled out, and that the inside of it has been created into like a little heat box where all the fire and have been put in.
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you going to put the water or put the fire out?
How to put out the fire? That's a very good question. You know what? The moss is probably pretty wet, right?
Sure.
So I'm gonna try smothering it out with the moss.
Okay. So, how are we going to do this one? Get what you want. Fire. Yeah, plus might. Let's roll plus might.
Uh, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 2, so 10.
Okay, so you're, smothering it all out, and as you're putting the fire out to smother it, or not the kids, because they're actually in their teens, they all start wailing away like you're basically killing their god. They're like, ah!
And I play flute music for them.
Okay. Roll plus hustle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Trying to solve a problem with a gun. Oh, good. Well, 5, and then I'm good at hustle, so that's a 7.
Okay. Nice. All right. So you start firing away, and it scares Marshmallow.
Oh, poor Marshmallow.
Yeah. So you're doing your flute music, but Marshmallow and and starts running down the hallway with you still on him.
Marshmallow, no, calm down, Marshmallow. This is good. We're making the nightmares go away. Marshmallow.
Yeah. So Vincent, what do you got? Vincent?
What is Victoria doing right now?
I am
She's
smothering
in the
out the
engine room
fire.
smothering the fire.
I'm gonna go help. I'm gonna go help Victoria. to speed that up.
Okay. And Sammy?
So Sammy is mounted on Becky's chest,
Say.
and she's got her stethoscope strangling Becky and listening to her heartbeat as it slowly stops.
Okay.
This took a very dark turn.
Yeah.
What
That
happened
was
to Becky?
not me. That is
We all have-
not me at all.
We'll
I
have
wanna
our
point that
nightmares.
out. Okay. All right. So once Becky is dead,
Mm-hmm.
okay, all of the children, the surviving children of the engine, surround you on top of Becky's body, and they bend down and they pick up Becky, and they're slowly carrying her up to the DJ booth. Something's going on here, and you probably don't want to know.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yep. I'll stand up and brush myself off.
Okay. Meanwhile, in the engine room, Vincent and Victoria.
Vincent, we got to figure out how the hell we're going to get off this ship. I'm thinking we go out through that wall.
And,
Let's go.
after you say that, you see Jim and I riding down the hallway on top of Marshmallow going, Marshmallow, stop!
How much do we care about bringing everybody back with us?
We don't.
Fantastic. So I start using my bionic arm to punch a hole through the wall and try to, roll it back like a can. You broke up.
Roll plus might.
Roll plus might. All right. Ooh. So 3, 4, 5 plus 2, so 7.
Okay. All right, so you're, pulling on, like you can, as you mentioned, the edge of it and starting to open it up. And as you're opening it up, you look over, and you've been able to open it, and you're on the top, so you can see the ocean, the water's edge.
Mm-hmm.
And along the water's edge, you can see, okay, so you've been able to find a way to get out, but you also, see that there are shark fins that are right there alongside the water there.
Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
Okay.
What are we gonna do?
I look at Vincent and I go, well, I've got a solution for this problem. And I shoot Vincent and jump the water.
There's a third one of these.
Really? All
Yeah,
right.
in the leg. Not dead, but bloody, injure.
Roll
Shove
plus
him out.
hustle.
I could put on a shock. I could put on a fake shock face.
That's a 0.
Oh,
so
no.
that's a 4.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
So that's
Victoria,
doesn't happen.
Victoria tried shooting you, Vincent,
Mm-hmm.
and although she missed, she did. All right. So when she did this, You can't. Okay. Oh wow! I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this one.
And just so you know, I'm gonna try and shoot her back now.
I'm not surprised. Okay. Goodness.
And I'm not gonna graze. I'm not gonna go for a graze like she.
Oh.
Okay. So by doing the shooting, okay, it. Okay, so I'm trying to find the best way to put this. So it shoots, a hole on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
And so now water is coming in from the other side, from the basic surface. So now water is starting to seep in.
Yeah. Yeah, that tracks.
So water is now coming in very, very quickly. Meanwhile, Gemini, you're going down the hallway on top of Marshmallow.
I'm gonna try to steer Marshmallow back to the engine room because I'm gonna try to calm Marshmallow down.
Okay. Roll.
You're gonna emotionally support Marshmallow?
I am. I'm gonna be his emotional support crazy person.
Okay. Roll plus smooth.
Oh, good. Oh, hey, look at that. 9. Oh, wait, do I have smooth? Nope. 9.
Okay. All right. So you calm down Marshmallow, but you realize now Marshmallow is like, walking in puddles of water. And you can see that the water is splashing, and you realize that the ship is going down.
Oh no, Marshmallow. We went the wrong way. We have to go. We have to get out of here. We gotta go back.
Okay, so Marshmallow turns around and heads to the direction. Samantha, what are you doing specifically?
Yeah, well, I mean, now I've accomplished what I came here to do.
Yes,
So
you have. Murder.
just start walking. Well, Becky was the last remaining link to the ship, and now that she's gone,
Tornadoes up.
yeah. So now I'm just gonna start walking. Just walking after Marshmallow and Gemini, dragging my boomstick on the ground, so it's like scraping metal.
That's a hell of an image. Okay. And as you're starting to walk up, you can see in the engine room that there is a light coming through it, outside light specifically out. And so you can see that Victoria has peeled back the wall. Oh, and also tried shooting Vincent there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've always known Victoria to be of sound mind and good judgment, so I'm sure she has a reason for it.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
Walking after Gemini.
All right. So now Gemini's come and Marshmallow are coming your way.
Okay.
And is this hole in the wall big enough for Marshmallow to fit through?
Yes.
All right. We're just going to go out the hole. Because Marshmallow can swim.
All right.
Oh, polar bear, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, polar
Hurry!
bear.
We have to escape the nightmares. The ship
Sharks
is sinking again.
Sharks versus bears. Battle on the open.
So I'll have my gun out and I'll be shooting at any sharks that come near Marshmallow.
You have a polar boat.
Ginger, not Ginger. Where did he even come from? Where did Ginger? Because I'm thinking of. So
Gilligan's Island.
I was thinking Gigett. That's what I was going to say.
Ah.
Gigett, what are you doing on this one?
Well, I tried to shoot at Vincent and failed.
Yes.
And I see a polar bear run by out the hole, which means there's now a distraction for the sharks. So I will attempt to climb out the hole behind them and try to keep the polar bear between me and the sharks.
Okay. And let's see. What are you doing, Samantha?
Well, I mean, if Gemini and Marshmallow are safe outside the ship now, I'll join them.
Okay, so you're jumping on the back of Marshmallow as well?
Oh yeah, that sounds even better. I'll
All
definitely
right.
do that
Okay.
with my boomstick in my hand still. As a
Okay. So,
I'll look back at Vincent and I'll be like, I thought it was my life or yours. Come on.
okay.
He's not here to answer, so, we'll just go on without him.
Okay. So as you got okay.
we're just gonna
So
leave
as
Vincent there with
Coast
his
Guard-
followers.
No, as the Coast Guard pulls up, I'm cutting the scene over to this. So, Captain, we found the survivors from the Tangerine. Where are they? Sir, it appears they're on top of a polar bear. Yes, sir, and they're firing at sharks. Well, where did they get the right? Pull alongside them. Okay. So, as you guys are like trying to fend off the sharks on top of the swimming polar bear, the Coast Guard comes up. Pulls up. The rope ladder down to pull you guys up. Allows you guys to walk up onto the deck, okay, along with the polar bear, coming up. Just to catch you up to speed, everybody got on top of the polar bear and swam back, shooting at sharks when the Coast Guard arrived.
Oh, okay.
I looked back at you as the polar bear ran by and was like, I thought it was my life or yours. Sorry, come on. And we jumped on the polar bear.
All right. So the Coast Guard is pulling, of course, the blankets, putting them over and whatever. And so you guys realize Becky's not with you.
Did the nightmare children get Becky?
Yes,
That's too bad.
it was horrible. I tried to stop them, but I couldn't. There was too many of them. I had to run. It was awful.
At least you got away.
Yeah.
Gemini, what are you doing?
I am looking back at the ship, waiting for it to sink so that my nightmares can finally go away.
Yes, it is sinking down back to the bottom of the ocean.
Gemini, I thought you said nothing could leave the ship, but it's okay for Marshmallow to come?
Oh yes, Marshmallow. Marshmallow was meant to leave the ship. He should never have been on the ship to begin with. It's my fault that he was there, and I left him behind. And I finally made amends for that. And also we murdered all those children. So I think it evens out.
I'm gonna suggest we don't tell anybody about that part.
Did you hear that, Marshmallow? Don't tell anyone. What does my gun think about all this?
The gun isn't saying anything. It's just quietly contemplating whatever it is. And so, Vincent, what are you doing?
Nothing. I'm keeping quiet.
Okay.
Just happy to be rescued.
All right.
And I still have the tapes, right?
Of course you do.
So I'm in my head. I'm working out what I'm going to do for this next book.
Sounds good. Do you have a title for it yet?
Obviously, it's Cruise Ship of the Damned.
Yeah, Cruise Ship of the Damned. There you go.
A tangerine upside down mistake.
I was gonna call it Nightmare Children. I think.
Oh.
Okay.
It's called a tangerine submarine.
Ooh, that's good too.
I like that.
And we'll call game right there. That's probably the best place.
Awesome. Oh,
The
man.
film crew is dead, though. We
77
never.
What's that?
I said the film crew is dead. We never
They are
rescued
dead.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
they're gone.
yeah, they were on the tables.
they're done.
Yep.
They're donezoos.
Well, they're shark food now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sharks will take care of all the evidence.
Yeah, they will. So just to repeat, this is Return to the Cruise Ship of the Damned, Spirit of the 77, available through Drive-Thru RPG. We're Monkeyfun Studios. You can find us on monkeyfunstudios.com, also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we do have a Kickstarter going, monkeyfunstudios.com/malice. He's back, Malice, because we have another 13 days. And we're so close to our next stretch goal, which is actually going to unlock the play set of calling Malice Station, which is or Station the Station, which is the one that takes place on the mining colony in Jupiter. So please find us, and you guys have fun.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I had a great time.
For sure.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Good.
Like Dave said, definitely go and back Malice. It is an excellent game, and you want Station to Station. It is that good. So you've been watching Pixel Scandal. You can find out more about Pixel Scandal by going to pixelscandal.com, where you can find back episodes of our shows. You can find the first episode of Cruise Ship of the Damned. You can find links to our social media, how to connect with us. And if you want to support this show, you can find links to our Patreon and our Twitch, where you can either sub on Twitch or become a patron and get cool backer rewards. So definitely check that out. One of those rewards would be recaps. So we do recaps of our, we do like debriefs after these games. So definitely go check that out. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. PST Pixel Scandal time for the Pixel Scandal Nerdcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys, for having me.